Good afternoon. This is Reverend Pam Geagan from the Center for Spiritual Living, Pleasant Valley in Camarillo, California. And I'm very excited today because we have amazing guests. And I'll say their names and then we'll all wave together. First, there's Bonnie Arkin Cordova, a cousin, we believe. But as far as I'm concerned, she's always going to be my cousin. And she's been in my life for like 20 years now, I think. And we have our wonderful Reverend Betty Ann Brennan, our assistant minister, and Bill Rotella with his amazing music. And also we have Lynn Chaplin Noe as our practitioner and our wonderful Buzz Noe with What's the Buzz. And so does everybody just want to say hi? Hi. Welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, hi. And you know what? I could say this as she's coming in, but Bonnie is an amazing person, not only a teacher. She went all through ministerial with my teacher, or at least they had the same teacher, Dr. Tom Johnson. She's an actress, she's an author, and her books are amazing. So, and so inspiring too, and always gives you that that view that you just don't see at first. It's that hidden view of life. So anyway, so let me just tell you who we are. Our vision statement is awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence. And how we do this is by teaching and demonstrating spiritual principles for living an abundant and fulfilling life in a welcoming and compassionate community. And each week, our wonderful Betty Ann creates an affirmation for us. And so this week, our topic is the loving heart, the truest wisdom, which is the truest wisdom, the loving heart, which is the truest wisdom. So Betty Ann, would you please read your quote to everybody?
Thank you, Pam. Listening to the truth within me, I am guided, guarded, healed, and blessed, as divine wisdom reveals all I need to do and know.
Thank you so much. And again, when the program's over, you can download the Facebook. I mean, not download the Facebook. You can look at Facebook and get her words of wisdom. I want to introduce a song now that Bonnie sent me. Bonnie lives in one of the hot zones for the coronavirus, New York. She lives right across from Manhattan. It's an absolute paradise where she lives. You can see Manhattan, but it's like going back to the 1950s. She lives on an island called Roosevelt Island. And a woman created this song, and it's about make a joyful noise. And we're working together on this island at this time. So I would like to play this now.
We've got to stand together. We've got to work together. We've got to pull together if we want to get things done. We've got to move together, go through the storms together, believing in one another, sharing as we go along. Sometimes we disagree on what to say or do. That doesn't mean I'm disrespecting you. When we put our heads together for a common goal, the cause can affect how far we go. Let's go. If we're gonna live together, breaking down walls together, we better kneel together, praying as we go along. So we need to stand together, sowing deep dreams together, leaping from deeds together, if we wanna get things done. Sometimes we disagree on what we say or do. That doesn't mean I'm disrespecting you. When we put our heads together for a common goal, the cause can affect how far we go, we go. together, 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 united, together, together, united, together, together. Hey, don't you wanna come along? Don't you wanna come along? Oh yeah. Yes, we can.
I would invite you to look up Roosevelt Island. It has quite a history and it's one of the most beautiful places I've visited. It is so peaceful and yet you can see across the street all of the ambulances and everything going to the hospitals during this time. So it is that oxymoron again, or that it's just so interesting to be in away from it and yet witness it. And Bonnie sends beautiful pictures of the island too, so it's worth looking into. So I now we honor our candles of faith, and our candles of faith, what we do is that we honor all faiths. We say that there is only one source, many paths to that source, and the one fine thread that connects us all in all of our faiths is love. It is the fine thread that is mentioned in all the great religions and throughout all the sages and without all the throughout all the ages. And also it is the wisdom of that love that is the soul of that calls to us all. So as we go into an opening meditation and an opening just prayer treatment, let us just close our eyes. And I always say, pulling from the highest and high and into the deepest of deep, take those 3 connecting breaths. And on the in breath, God is. And on the out breath, I am. And then 2 more. What I know is when the heart is open, that is the place, when the wound is open, that is the place where the healing takes place. And so as I go on about my day to day, I know that this time is absolutely unprecedented in change. And as I change with the times, I open up to a new way of being, a new way of showing up on the planet. In this time of quiet where we are social distancing, I am taking that time to go and check out the great beyond within me that just says yes to all of the good that is waiting to be revealed as this wave of change that we're riding right now is taking place. So I honor all those who have had heartbreaking experiences during this time, who have lost loved ones, or are still in the process of recovering. But most of all, we know that God is, I am, and as our wonderful Betty Ann says, my life is unfolding perfectly, no matter what. So as we leave here today, take this wisdom with you and know that everything is working for the highest and best, despite what we may see or feel. And I let this go. I already know it's so. I look for the good in everything. And together we say, and so it is. And so it is that it is my honor to introduce What's the Buzz? Tell us what's happening, Buzz Noe.
What's the buzz? Tell us what's happening. Well, my name's Buzz. Here's what's happening for this week, Sunday, May 17th, 2020. The corona pandemic is still keeping us home. Thank God for the internet, which allows us to roam. So here's what's happening at our center online to help us stay connected with Spirit Divine. 9 a.m. meditation is on Facebook Live. Reverend Pam will help keep your spirit to thrive. So please join in and begin your week by giving your spiritual connection a tweak. And 2 more workshops will be starting soon. Some things have made us postpone them till June. On the 15th, a new discussion will start on how faith will always open our heart. Monday evening on the 15th, the writers group will gather. You can join in on Zoom from wherever you would rather. I know you're stuck at home, but please don't get too shook. Use this time to write that book. A reminder to donate to our center when able. You can do that through this link, to the internet cable. And 2 other places where you can lend a hand. So please do give them whatever you can. Ventura County Rescue Mission provides the homeless with much good, and Ventura County Food Share feeds the needy in our hood. We're in the middle of the month of May, and nature is unfolding in a beautiful way. A positive attitude is the place to stay, knowing we will all get through this okay. So follow the guidelines and do this as we ask. Take the precautions and always wear your mask. So that's it for the announcements. They're all done. Let's move on to now a special someone who's been my hero for 38 years, helping to guide me through all of my fears. I can't wait to hear what she has to say. Here's Reverend Lynn Chaplain Noe, our practitioner of the day.
Thank you, Buzz. I don't know if you guys can hear me because it's kind of quiet in here in the other room. Okay, so the Center for Spiritual Living has suggested we might talk about the great work of your life. And so we're all having an experience right now, and we're either sheltering at home or we're slowly moving our way back out into our old way that we used to live, doing our thing, working and making our way. I think we have a higher, more radiant, productive greatness to look forward to right now, you guys. And that is the great work of your life. So a year or two ago, I put out on Facebook a question. The question was, what is the absence of creativity? And almost everybody agreed there is no absence of creativity. We are creation. We are creations. We're the divine individualized expression of the divine. And so by nature, we are always creating. So I believe in my heart of hearts that we're here at this time to reveal the qualities of the creator, of God, of infinite intelligence. And that's creativity, generosity, compassion, good qualities of God. And that creates a world that works for everyone. And so in fact, your life is your great work. And so in his poem, Dr. Ernest Holmes wrote a poem called The Call. And I do believe we are being called right now to reach our highest possible level of expression. And just a portion of his poem, I'll read this to you. Deep within me, some subtle inner sight beholds and sees, comprehends and knows all, no fears, no falters, but answers the divine call. To be as one beyond the bonds of time and space, to overcome the bondage of the human race, and to leap with trust, undaunted and free. I think what he's saying there is that beyond the appearance of our lives, or as Reverend Betty Ann calls, no matter what, the no matter what's of our lives, there's something greater within us that's begging to be expressed right now. So let's close our eyes. I know that you're all taking deep breaths right now while you're experiencing this. Take your deep breath in and out and bring in that deep breath, this loving truth, that there is one power, one presence, one way of life, and this is all the divine love within you and within me. For our creative nature, our creative nature to love is exactly that, just love. And I know that I am the divine individualized expression of God, of infinite intelligence, divine intelligence, whatever you want to call it. I'm that. We are all that. And there's something within us now calling for us to reach our highest and best expression of love. This calling is the creating of a new earth, a new way of being, a new way of expressing, of creating a world that works for everyone. And we do that in every breath we take. for our creative nature is asking us to do this. So listen to each other. I listen to everyone on my pathway. They're speaking loudly. Emerson says, who you are being speaks louder than what, and that is exactly what we're doing. We're speaking to each other on a deeper level to create this wonderful world that works for everyone. And I'm grateful for these loving truths. So happy and grateful for these loving truths of creating the new earth through the great works of our lives, our own expressiveness. So I release these divine truths into the very beingness of them, the livingness, the creatingness of them right here in this moment. And together we say, and so it is. And so it is my opportunity to say happy birthday to my beautiful daughter-in-law, Lauren, too. And now Pam has something to say. Thanks.
Thank you, Lynn. And by the way, speaking of birthdays, this is your birthday month, Lynn Chaplin Noe.
Yes, it is.
Happy birthday. It's a birthday month for you too. And Bill, I can't wait to introduce Bill Rotella. We follow him. Bonnie and I tried to see him when he was in New York, going all around promoting his album, and we just couldn't connect with him at that time. But Bill, because of timing, would you play 2 songs in a row? I'm just
Sure.
gonna. Okay, thank you so much, honey. Oh, the wonderful Bill Rotella.
All right. Hello, everybody. I'm going to start off with a little good morning song for you. This is a song that my family at the Spiritual Center happens to enjoy. So enjoy it. This is called Morning Star. Morning star, how I wonder what you are. You make me smile. You're a candle shining in my heart. When you laugh, it feels like sunshine. Come walk with me, put your hand in mine. Life is fine because you're my morning star. Open your eyes, it's time to greet another day. Feel the sunlight dancing, feel her kisses up and down your face. There's no hurry, we've got time. Let's sit beneath this morning sky, 'cause life is fine because you're my morning star. Ooh, 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 ooh. Your candle shining in my heart. I'm never far from where you are. Even angels sleep. I'll be here when the morning comes. Dream your dreams and wake me with your light, bright as the sun. Wherever you go, love just grows, and I love you more than you could know. Your candle shining in my heart, my morning star. Yeah, I'm never far from where you are, morning star. Yeah, life is fine because you're my morning star.
Oh, yeah.
That's a Sunday morning. That's a Sunday morning. Love the one you're with type song. That's a lot of love for you.
Oh,
Play another? Thank you.
now if you could play the second song, that would
Sure. Sure.
thank you.
Now, this particular song, this is the first time I've ever played this, and I just learned this because the lyric, it's just a great God message and soul message. It's a really, really great message. I just learned this, so I'm going to share it with you. I hope Buzz is listening because I know this is going to be a song he'll enjoy. I listen to the wind of my soul. Well, I went up, well, I think only God really knows. I sat upon the setting sun, but never, I never needed water once. No, never. I listen to my words, but they fall far below. I let my music take me where my heart wants to go. I swam upon the devil's lake, but never, I'll never make the same mistake. I never.
Oh,
Thank you.
Stevens. Oh,
Yeah, that's right. Right.
oh,
Hey,
you're
have
really
a great day, everybody.
You too, Bill. Have a
Okay.
great concert, and you're doing it from your room to Beverly Hills, someplace.
Right here. I'm not moving.
Have a great concert.
Okay,
Thank
see
you
you guys.
so much for being with us. Oh, and now it is really my honor for Bonnie and I to be together, back together again, singing the same old story. And the subject is the loving heart, the truest wisdom, which the Celtics call, I could say, the Anam Cara, which is the soul friend. And basically it's when those souls meet and you can absolutely just connect. So I want to, at this point in time, one of the deepest thinkers I know, one of the most amazing thinkers I know, creative thinkers I know, that has taught me so much just being in her presence, is Bonnie. And I think we're now in this new life because the old life no longer fits us, and we're no longer able to absolutely be supported by the old way of knowing it. And I think it should be discarded. But I also, so what I want to know from you from that soul perspective and from New York, being through all of this in New York, one of the greatest hotspots in the world, how are you doing and what do you think about new things coming up?
Well, I was listening to the title of the meeting, which is A Loving Heart. Tell me again, Pam.
The truest wisdom.
And I've been mulling over that, what that means, and on how many levels, and I feel like I'm in the epicenter of New York City, which is probably the most dangerous place on earth right now. We've beat Lebanon, we've beat Yemen, we've beat Iran, Iraq, and Afghanistan in the number of deaths and the dangerousness. And I live on a teeny island, and the address is Manhattan, but it seems to be the epicenter of the city of New York. And it's so peaceful up here. And when I'm not focusing on the outside, I just feel inordinately happy.
I think that's a lot of wisdom right there. So when you're not to focus on especially the outside, but also, there's a consciousness here, and it's interesting what our consciousness leads us to. And your consciousness led you, you've moved several times, even since I've known you, to be on this island. And even during this pandemic, when you look across where you live, it is so gorgeous, and you're not in the midst of all of the pain and suffering being shown in your face. I know you watch everything on the island too, and you're very cautious, but still you have chosen to be step away from that pain and suffering someplace in your consciousness long ago, or the busyness or whatever.
Well, something happened. The shift that happened was in having a loving heart. I kind of gave up the need to monitor myself. I gave up the need to be positive. I gave up the need to speak positive. And I gave up the need to be true to myself and to relinquish all that felt false and artificial and forced. And going into that place with compassion, I've come to a place of peace. I let all the garbage come in, and I acknowledge it, and then I kind of relinquish it.
That is amazing. And I always say, could you monitor that giving up, the relinquishing that too? You're so funny. But that's never mind. Anyway, I do believe, huh?
I love it.
Could you hold back a little sometimes with your honesty? Is what I'm thinking. But honest to goodness, I see this. I just equate you and what you just said also to where when we go and we focus on all the negativity and all this sadness and sorrow, our spirit gets depleted, and that soul that we are, that has existed before we were ever born and will exist after we ever leave, is the highest and most noble part of ourselves. And to listen to that is listening to the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it makes you sometimes.
Yeah. Yes. I had a friend who was an actor, and he and I remember he and I had a conversation about parameters, restrictions, and now we all have tremendous restrictions. And before, the impulse to be creative was splayed all over the place. And now within these parameters, we have to look inward for our creativity, right? For our inspiration. We have a choice. Right, Pam?
Yes.
Am I acknowledging what you said?
More than acknowledging it. Yes, yes, absolutely. We do have to look within, and it's really interesting that there are changes coming up in every factor in our life. And it's like there's a story. I remember this story about a man, and he's tilling his soil, and he's getting rid of all the old dirt, and he's using a pickaxe with it. And a man comes along and says, "Why are you ruining this land?" And the farmer, whoever he was, said, "Don't be foolish. Nothing can grow in this land until everything is crumbled and is decayed and left to its own self, because that's when the first thing you have to do looks devastating. That's when when the flowers come up after that. You can't grow the flowers, and you can't really bring out more beauty unless you let go of that which is no longer serving us." Again, I go back to listening to the soul right now, and the soul is offering us so much wisdom and so much advice, Bonnie. It's as you, both of us do something also, that we have these parallel lives sometimes. Both of us spend a lot of time, not recently, I know, with you because of quarantine, but with our granddaughters too. And my soul, it's not an easy job, one of the hardest jobs I've ever had, but my soul calls me to do that and to be heart to heart with that child.
Mm, yeah.
Is it, well, how is it when you're with Sophie?
When I'm with Sophie, I haven't been with her since the quarantine. It's
I
been a couple
know.
of months, but the connection, what I see in her is something I've never experienced with another human being. I sent her a twirly dress for Easter, and she was wearing it for a couple of days, and she's been sleeping in the ballet slippers I sent her. And the next day, she walked into the bathroom with her mom, and Rosie said, she said, "Do you like my dress?" And Rosie said, "Yes, I love it. It's a beautiful dress." And Sophie said, "I was talking to the stool." You know, I don't know anybody else who thinks like that in my family. People who've done a lot of drugs, or I don't know, but it's just so wonderful to be inside of her vision and her creativity.
Oh my, what you said was so interesting, to be inside her vision. I try so hard sometimes to get inside that vision that Allison, my granddaughter, has, because oh my gosh, the things she comes up with and the things she sees that I do not see is just amazing to me. And the creativity, the game she comes up with, and how she laughs at the silliest things. She laughs all the time at the silliest things. So it just makes me, it brings out more in me. It really does.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah.
huge gift.
I'm
Little
I'm always, huh?
ministers.
They, yes, exactly. So I'm always wanting to be like Rumi or Moses, who, who went to the mountain into the fire, but actually he didn't go into the fire. He was looking for the fire in the sunset, as I say, to be at one. And I'm always looking around to see the oneness and the wholeness. I remember the stories that you've written before, and I think they're so interesting. And one, I remember we were coming back from Texas, and you saw all the dead deer. I did not see one of them. I did not see one of them. And it's that sight that you have, that inner being that sees the depth of the wholeness of everything. Can you even voice that at all? How were you raised like that, or how it came to you?
You were talking, and I went with you on the trip momentarily,
Yeah.
then I went back to what you were saying about Moses and just taking on the notion of parting the East River. If I focused really hard, if I could part the East River, but that trip, well, it was noteworthy because you were on the phone doing church business, and you were taking the high watch, and you were being very spiritual, and I kept seeing roadkill, like huge quantities of roadkill, the most horrific, mangled experiences, and you were at peace, and I was in torment, and taking it on, all the tragedy and the lives that you lost and the families of the animals were suffering, and you were taking the high watch. It was like we were side by side in a very small car, having two entirely different experiences, heaven and hell in a Toyota.
So all. No, but you know what's interesting? It goes back to what you just said. When we look at when we look at the positive in the heaven world and see that, first of all, we are eternal, we are immortal, and we stay and we go away. And even when we can see the heaven in the carnage, of the dead animals and stuff, when we know that that is life too, and that their souls have gotten, whatever is there, their souls have signed up for this too, for who knows what the next experience will be. So I think that what I love about what you said is it makes me think that you have to go within and create your own myth, and that then it goes to that fine line of sanity, though, too. I've always said there's that fine line between when you lose reality and you're in reality. But what is reality? And it's what we're looking at lots of times. And
Oh,
what yeah,
oh, no,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. I thought that was a pause. No, I got chills because I got the. You're talking about walking a fine line, and to walk a fine line, you need balance, right? You don't. You need to acknowledge what you've seen, and you need to see it on a deeper level, right? And
Exactly.
that's balance. And I don't think you try to block out the pain, do you?
No, no, I think that the pain is what makes you more aware and deepens you more. And again, it's that old Rumi quote, which I'm going to misquote, but the wound in the heart is where the light can come in. And
Right.
without that, it's like the tilling of the soil that about the farmer is that's what is creating the new blooms and the new world and a new earth. And I just think that when people have to change, they have to face their demons many times, and those demons are sometimes the same as the good things too. And you have to face those appetites of what you did before. You have a very active life. This is the most inactive since I've known you, as far as going places, seeing people, doing things that I've ever known. How is that affecting you in what you may come back and change when we're all free to be again?
Well, I I've been busier in the house than I ever was when I had access to the outside. I've been recording songs. I've been working on calligraphy, things like that, and it's all different from what I would have done. I've also spent inordinate amounts of time cooking, trying to be creative with this huge box of bizarre looking produce that arrives every week, and watching. I'm trying to avoid profanity here because an inordinate amount of Korean dramas, on Netflix. But there's time for it all, and that I know, I used to have a desperation about it, but now I realize there's time for it all, and it doesn't matter what you do. It really doesn't matter. There's nobody standing over you with a stick, saying you're not being productive this morning, or you haven't washed the sheets, or, or it doesn't matter.
I agree. And you said something so interesting because the angst that I have to try and get everything done and the things that suffer are my yard. And I had a major accomplishment. I cleaned up the dog yard. I mean, from all the weeds and everything, because I don't want Smokey to get foxtails. And it was a major thing for me. I would have never had time to do that
Yeah.
before and to honor my dog, and I would have had to hire somebody to do it. So it's really interesting. I felt very good about this. And it's like when you said about cooking, I'm certainly not cooking. My everybody's cooking for me, but but it does all of a sudden, it's like I've been given permission to do the things like calligraphy and to look at different things than I've ever gone before. So when something like this pandemic screams at us, and it's I call it a wake up call and a heaven quake, then I think we're being beckoned. There's no coincidences. This is happening on not only our soul level, but our mother's soul level. And all of the world is involved in all of this. And so, what is that? I mean, what can you say other than that we are asked to be able to be able to shift right here and right now? And so the things that I would like to take with me is driving less when we come out of this. Walk more, drive less. Oh, Bonnie, I'm walking everywhere now. I walk a lot, and you're the one that only get this when we go there. Bonnie, pardon me, Bonnie always wants to walk the island. I go, we have to. No, I don't say that, but I'm up to speed. All my blisters are healed. It's wonderful because I love walking. So I can't wait to go back and walk the island with you too. Feel finer points. Yeah. So there's been so much good. What are you taking with you?
After this,
Yes.
I I I don't have anything I don't have any words of wisdom about it except what's so. That's what popped up. It's just what's so. It's what's so, and it's my interpretation. My interpretation doesn't mean too much. It's just what's so, and I try to get out of the way of what's so. Does that make any sense to you?
It's brilliant. It makes
Oh,
more than good sense. It's absolutely brilliant. You're in the moment. And
I don't want to come up with any platitudes. I don't have any platitudes for it. I don't have any words of wisdom. It's just, it's trying to be, the word grace comes up with what's so.
yeah, I agree 100%. So, I say there's no cage for all of this. There's no cage for the soul. It is the divine light that spreads from us, whether we're home or we're cooking or cleaning up the dog yard. And we are, um, I believe from everything you were saying is you are being that example of embracing the changes so that we can go to that next level of understanding that we are that divine soul that never changes. We come in with this fingerprint of God, I say, and whether we get it down now or we get it down later, we will eventually get it down. I think the Course of Miracles says we're all going to get it. It just depends upon which path you take and if the high road or the low road. And the low road may get you there faster. And I always think without a higher power, without a spirituality or drugs or anything else, you're going to reach nirvana. But how long will that last? And going through this instead of building your condo in it, I always say, in the valley of the shadow of what's happening, I think we're all going to come out bigger, better, stronger. Bigger, better, better. All the bees. What do you think too? And
I forgot what I was going to say. I was about to say something really brilliant and wise, and it just slipped by.
you're coming out better. And
Yeah, I remember from Pema Chodron. She said when she learned about the basic premises of existence from her teacher, and they were suffering, egolessness, and transience. Change. It changes. Things will change, and there's nothing wrong with you if you're suffering. It's part of existence, and that will change. And egolessness is the escape from suffering,
yes,
and however it shows up for you,
yeah.
and you've got that in spades, Pam.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to say something closing, and then I'd like you to say something closing.
Okay.
And I just want everybody to hold on to their integrity and their highest ideals and pray and hold the high watch beyond your fears and know who you are and stay who you are. And even when you feel like you can't stay in your integrity and listen to your heart, listen to your soul, that is absolutely, I think, screaming to us right now for that greater way of being. I say fake it till you make it because God honors counterfeit money and thinks it's just as good as real money. So if we continue to reach deeper into our souls, we become that truth, that wisdom. And your silence says it all, Bonnie.
We're in it together. We're in it together. For the
Yes.
first time in the world, what we've been longing for, what we've been trying to do, which is come together with people of all races, religions, and nations, nationalities. We've come together, and it took a tragedy like this to bring us together. And we truly are one now with people all over the world. And we're in the same boat, brother. And it's a beautiful thing.
Yes, it is. I agree.
I'm so grateful to you, Pam, for inviting me, and so honored to be in your presence, and Lynn and Buzz and Spencer. And it's just, I'm so grateful, and I love you so much. And
you're a beautiful thing in my life, a wonderful, exciting, beautiful thing. You never fail to amaze me in the depth of your being and the depth of your expressing that being. I'm always absolutely amazed. And it's always the authentic. As I say, could you be a little less authentic sometimes? No, I love it. I absolutely love it. And I love you. And you're on my priority list once we can see one another again. So love you with great gratitude. And will you come back again and be with us?
Absolutely.
Yay. Okay. Namaste to you and blessings galore. And now we're going to play. No, we're not. We're going straight to our power. Spencer says, oh, great. She's changing again. We're going to go straight to our offertory slide. And you may read this out loud with me or just listen, but our offertory is divine love blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is, and that's the way it is. And I would just like to, as we go to our next slide, your sacred donations are needed more, not needed, are appreciated more than ever. I hate to be in the sense of need. Just know that God is the substance and source of my supply and the supply of all of the people on this planet who are in the same shape we all are, not knowing sometimes where their monies are coming from or their substance is coming from. So, but your donations are so appreciated in this time, and our mailing address is CSL Pleasant Valley, 221 East Daly Drive, Suite number 1, Camarillo, California, 93010. And our website is www.csl-pleasantvalley.org. And please email us or go to our website. You'll find our email on our website as well, and or call us at our home number 805-482-4300 for prayer treatment. That is what we're here for, to pray and hold the eye watch and know the truth that God is, I am. So thank you. And now we're going to end with a song that eventually Bonnie will hear, and it's Superhero, and it's with Nemo Patel and Daniel Nahmod. And thank you for the rights to this song for all the spiritual organizations. So enjoy this song.
I always wanted a red cape on my back. I always wanted to be the best in my pack. I always wanted to be known to be good, to be the hero of my own hood. If I could just fly, I could save everyone. Stop all the wars so nobody's gotta run. All the killing, all the crimes, pain and suffering. It's getting tougher to be buffered from it all. Are we gonna make it through? Is it gonna fly back in? Cause if you don't come right now, I don't think good will win. Time is running now. Do we wanna wait for him? Or is it our time now to bring the good back in? We don't have to leap tall buildings. There's a lot of good that we can do. jetpack soon to take us to the clouds. It's up to me and you, right here, right now. Superhero, na 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 na. The superhero, whoa 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 whoa. Superhero, na 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 na. The superhero, whoa 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 whoa. This world is so much pain, and though I can't fly, I can do my little part here before I die, yeah. I may not win the Nobel Prize, but at least I can try to be a little more kind, spend a little more time in my changing life, yeah. Like giving a hug when somebody is down, feeding a soul when there's nobody around. Small things that can change the sound, and the vibe of the spirit that can change a town. Started small, now it's touched a crowd. The crowd is growing, now the word is out that if we all do our parts, we can touch the clouds. Without a cape and a mask, we can touch the clouds. Yeah. We don't have to leap tall buildings. In a single bound. There's a lot of good that we can do. Standing on the ground. We don't need a jetpack suit to take us to the clouds. It's up to me and you, right here, right now. Superhero, na 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 na. The superhero, whoa 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 whoa. Superhero, na 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 na. The superhero, whoa whoa whoa. It's the smallest things that make a difference, and all the power's locked within us. All we gotta do is find the key and turn the latch and set it free, yeah. We don't need to be fast and strong, cause a kind word can go a long way. Help someone whose faith is gone to get back up and carry on. Maybe it's too hard to understand, think it's too much for us to handle, but I promise you that you can, cause you don't need to be a Superman. We don't have to leap tall buildings in a single bound. There's a lot of good that we can do, standing on the ground. We don't need a jetpack suit to take us to the clouds. It's up to me and you, right here, right now. Superhero, feeding the soul when there's nobody around. The superhero, and the vibe of the spirit that can change a town. Superhero, the crowd is growing, now the word is out that if we all do our parts, we can touch the clouds. Without a cape and a mask, we can touch the clouds, yeah.
Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you, Bonnie and Bill, and our wonderful Buzz and Lynn and Reverend Betty Ann. And I just can't thank you enough. Come back, Bonnie, please. Come home, little Sheba. Come home. Come and see us next Sunday, this coming Sunday, at noon Pacific time. And I love each and every one of you. God is the power and presence behind it all, that's in and through and as us. And bless you. Peace out.
Peace out.
Everybody, peace. Everybody say goodbye. Bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye. Spencer, thank you.
Spence, thanks.